Alright, hello everyone and welcome. I see 8 of you here. I hope everyone is doing well and welcome to a new stream where we try to design some environments. And let me fix the green screen. Yeah. How is everyone? Can you hear me well? Can you hear the sound, the music? Is everything good? Let me know in the chat. And let me bring the chat. Zoltan, Tala, pleasure over matter. Hey everyone. Nice. You can hear me well then. So let's share the screen and talk about today's project. I'm very excited about today's project. We will approach the creation of a sci-fi city based on a concept by the legend Leon Tukker. I love this guy. I've been following his work for so many years, 5-6 years, I don't know. Let me show you his work on Artstation. And recently we got a very exciting project that I will tell you more on when I'm allowed to speak about its details, but exciting things going on. And we have a concept by Leon Tukker that we will approach today in Unreal Engine. So we will try doing that, learn together, grow together, make some mistakes, and do cool stuff. End up with a nice result. I love this guy, man. So let me show you the project we're going to make before we hop in Unreal Engine. And you guys can hear music, right? Everything is good? One final check, because I don't want the music to be too loud. Where is it? I keep losing the chat, by the way. Amal, welcome. It's good to see you. Jesse, welcome guys. All right. Let's start with the main concept we have by Leon. It's made with Cinema 4D and Photoshop, traditional concept art. It's a futuristic city in the future, utopian aesthetically, like it's the good future, you know. So this is the skyline of the city. We have we do have the meshes, but they are like made with, I think, tilt brush or something. It's incredible how Leon approached the creation of concept art. If you didn't see his collaboration with Kitbash 3D on the utopian Kitbash, I will show it after this concept here. The city is very large, so we are creating a large scale environment. We need a large terrain. We need to create some background mountains, get some satellite pictures, implement that with, you know, see what cool tricks we can do. And I don't know if you saw a small test I shared yesterday on Discord. I was just trying to paint, I don't have it, to paint buildings with the foliage tool inside Unreal Engine. It was really fun. We can try also that. So the main thing about this concept here, it's there is so much overdrawing above it, so that's the thing about concept art. So we will do our very best to make our Unreal Engine scene look like this. One of the main elements of the project is designing a really nice bridge with this beautiful terrain and these little islands where we will also do some vegetation. So it's a big project. We will do daily streams, and I should set like one daily stream at the exact same time if you wanna guys if you wanna follow and interact with this. So what's time like now seems perfect to me, so tomorrow around the same time like now we can do another one. So keep that in mind. This will be like multiple streams. Once we are done with the city, we will create one of inside of the buildings which looks like something like this. So this is the second step. Very cool stuff. And once we finish this, we will try and create a shot inside the city that looks something like this. So basically it could be even 3 separate projects, right? I collected another more inspiration. We will walk through this in a moment once we get back to it. There are so many, I love collecting so many visual things to look at while I am approaching the creation of something new to me, right? Especially like when it comes to design in general, do your very best to have a mood board with so many pictures relates to what you're creating, and try not to imagine things out of your head and like just do it in 3D directly or whatever. Like always having a mood board will enrich your visual, thinking. Let's hide this and see what's up with the chat for a moment. What's up, Stanislav? Welcome. Hey, welcome back. So welcome everyone. To all of you who are new here, we will approach the creation of the city today. So this is the Cinema 4D model, originally by Leon. I just did very small optimizations to it just to see how it looks inside Unreal Engine. And let's do this. And to like the last week, it was all of it just collecting reference and thinking about what are the best ways to approach the creation of something like this, to keep it real time, that's very important, and to make it also visually beautiful. So later we will worry about the clouds as well. So once we get to that, actually the clouds are super easy in Unreal 426. So let me read some comments here. Smoking Panda, welcome. Yusuf Yusuf, welcome. Alright. 1050 Ti. Yeah, you don't have to use ray tracing, you can bake your lights in your scene. But in similar scenes, everything is dynamic. We will not be baking lights. So if you have like a low GPU, you will get less frames. Just so you know, guys, I'm running all these Unreal Engine projects on 1080 Ti. So I think all of us can create this. Let's take a quick look about what's going on here. I'm gonna make the screen larger. I don't think it's a good idea to make it larger, you see the frames. We have these placeholders for the islands. We have these placeholders for the bridge. This mesh here, it's actually painted in virtual reality. So the Leon, I believe like many of his artworks first are painted in VR and then like translated to Cinema 4D, then Octane, then Photoshop. Yeah, Gravity Sketch. Gravity Sketch is like one of the very best applications to paint and like to do some 3D modeling and sculpting and concept art inside of virtual reality. One of my very favorite tools, but I suck at it. I'm so bad. This is another example of Leon's work. So yeah, Gravity Sketch, Cinema 4D, Octane, Photoshop. But this time, Gravity Sketch, Cinema 4D. This is the Octane, Photoshop, then Unreal Engine, adding Unreal Engine to the mix. And we will be taking care of that. Fun fact here, when I first saw this plane from this camera angle, I thought it's a plane, right? But no, it was the Kitbash buildings scattered inside the city. Are you using C++? No, I am not a programmer. I am more like from the creative background. I use blueprints though. Blueprints are very easy. Not that easy, but like really easy to understand. The project, unfortunately, no, I cannot share it for learning. But what I plan on sharing for learning later, I wanted to break down for you guys this scene. I think this is shareable. I need to check. because 99% of the assets here are from free. These buildings are from the shooter pack in Learn tab in Unreal Engine, and what else? The water in Unreal Engine 426, the clouds the same, except for Brushify pack. I could get rid of this and share this scene with you guys. If you wanna get this scene without like the paid elements, just this, type one yes anything in the chat. So yeah, just type anything. Let me see you guys are interacting. Before we get in Leon's artwork, we wanna break down the process real fast, or break down this project, because this project was an R&D phase of that project. I wanted to see how can I create water inside Unreal Engine, and how can I achieve like nice clouds, something slightly perhaps similar to here. So I think I managed slightly to achieve something, and these clouds here are done inside Unreal Engine 426, the volumetric cloud. So if you find it here, there is no clouds, and the water here is the water system inside Unreal Engine. So when we go to plugins in Unreal Engine 426 and just search for water, if you enable this out of the box, if you go to place actors and search for water, you have river system, ocean system, pool. It's so good and super easy to use, like almost with one click and just adjusting the settings on the materials, I got this really nice water. And check this out, the water is so good that if we rotate our sun to make it like more of daylight, because now it's like sunset, or let's just do this, so for the performance, for some reason I can't rotate my daylight. Thank you, Unreal Engine, bring me my light at least. Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's switch back to LED, and now watch the green color on the sea, on the water here, how it turns to blue. Wow. That's so cool. Out of the box. Yes, you got the scene, guys. I will share it very soon. Hey, Chris. Welcome, Chris. Moz, did I pronounce your name right? Welcome, everyone. Merhaba. Okay. Let me show you where this scene started. Okay, because we will be doing the exact same. I added a link to the project in the description, and this scene basically started from one terrain I made within Word Creator. Word Creator is one of the very best tools ever to generate landscapes. So I started with the landscape, placed the water, and tried to play with the lighting, and ignore this. I was experimenting with camera angles, and I started placing mannequins everywhere in the project and trying to achieve nice shots in this project. So I have a direction of what areas of this project I am going to work on. In our case, in our today's project, it's basically this shot, right? So that's the exact same process. When you are approaching large-scale environments or environments in general, try to establish your shots as early as possible, so it also becomes less overwhelming when working on environments. So when you have like one or two important shots, you can finish these first, and then you can move on to anything else. After that, let me show you Word Creator real quick. If you just Google it, it's a procedural generation tool for height maps, basically, but meant to generate landscapes and terrains. I've been using this for like 3 years just for fun, and I love it. That's Word Creator. Then Brushify, out of the box, you could get. So here's like basically Brushify without a material. And if you just apply Brushify material, the Arctic pack, it just applies this automatically. And this as like a placeholder, just to give the feeling I'm looking for in the scene, it's just perfect. Later we'll be changing this with Quixel Mixer materials. But yeah, in the process of generating art or like concept art or trying to generate images quickly, that's it, depending on the marketplace or pre-made things would just and templates would save you so much time. All of this, everything we see here, like all these shots and everything, the environment, it was done like in 3 to 4 hours on last weekend. So that's the point what we are trying to achieve in general, like get art as fast as possible and then optimize it or add more details or whatever, right? I thought, what if I could place 3 people here just running to the sea and place this camera, make this guy a cameraman, and it turns out to be a really nice shot. And then on Artstation here, I thought, okay, it could be a story like this, a nice place on any other planet, people going and like, this is their perspective here, and like stop and look at this, it's so beautiful. That's it. I think we're done with this scene. Let me read any. Someone, sorry for not replying on the chat, I was focused here. What's your advice on starting to understand blueprints? Complete newbie here. The very best tutorial I ever saw on blueprints in Unreal Engine to get you started is from Epic, like in the year 2015. It's still relevant. So blueprints, I will send you a link right now. So it's, I think, this is part 4. So if we just find, if you can just find part 1 of this is the best tutorial series ever on getting you started with the blueprints. Tela. So here's a link for you. I hope you find it useful. And I have been restructuring a similar tutorial, exactly following their guidelines on that tutorial, just to make something more recent, but it needs some time. So that can get you started, and you don't need to wait for me. Merhaba everyone, Walker, Annie, Rami, Walker, Hiko. Hey, it's a pleasure to have all of you here. Any questions, you guys? If you have any questions, anything about the project here we're doing, or Unreal Engine questions in general, ask them. I'm here to answer yours. This is actually PureRef, the tool, yes. Pleasure over matter. This is my vacation t-shirt. I wear it just to feel comfortable or like nice when I'm doing these sessions, so just I wear this only on my vacations and the live streams. That's it. Summertime. Let's get another question. I got another question, dude. Yes. If I use baked lighting instead of dynamic with ray tracing, is it possible to get more performance because I have 1070? Yes, of course. The baked lights are the cheapest lights ever. Once you have, like, let's say you have 200 lights in your project, not 200, but let's say you have 50 lights. Once you bake the light, these 50 lights have no impact on the performance anymore. So to get decent performance, always bake your lights. If you have 3090, 3080, this good stuff, go with ray tracing. Other than that, for archviz especially, the best thing to do is to bake your lights. Just don't go crazy on the light map resolution, because if you set everything to 1024 or 2K, your project will like get, if it's a small apartment, just like the apartment I am doing for the master class, that apartment, just because of the light maps, is 14 gigabytes. So I have to do so much more optimization on that. And let me show you how silly it is. Like this apartment here, the complete Unreal Engine project size is 14 gigabytes. So light maps, they consume RAM, like memory, and disk space like crazy. So 1024, 512, don't try not to go over than that. So this project, 13 gigabytes of light maps. I am working on tutorials on how to optimize these case scenarios. So because unless you're pixel streaming this, it will be kind of hard to deliver it to customers, right? Some customers have no problem, so if you are lucky. So I hope you are. Any more questions? It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Cheers. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, if you leave me a like on the stream, it will help us tremendously showing this to other people so more people can come in. So please do leave a like if you're enjoying the stuff so far. And more questions. Awesome. Let's start a new map, or let me show you where I started. So this is the city from Cinema 4D. I exported it first to Unreal Engine as you saw here, and yes, looks good and all, but we have like 2,500 actors, which is way too much. And if we look closely at what's going on, we can't, because everything we saw in the images here is just overpainted, mainly with like Photoshop. These areas, these like brush strokes, and that's completely fine because that's the main purpose of concept art, to give you an idea, like to explain an idea visually as fast as possible, right? Okay, cool. We imported the city, we see how it looks like, and I've decided the biggest element of the project that I need to work on first in order to get somewhere is these buildings. And we have these buildings here as like separated, so that was incredibly useful. All I had to do, exporting these buildings from Cinema 4D to FBX, then to 3ds Max or Blender. I use 3ds Max, I suck at Blender, but I am trying to learn Blender anyway. And I tried to optimize these, like deleting floating vertices, giving the correct material IDs, because unfortunately for some reason I didn't have the material IDs, and all this stuff. Let me show you how the mesh looks like. So it should be here. Junayd Sayed, my man. Yeah, I'm going to get into post-processing once we make our new map to put these buildings on. So these buildings, guys, these skyscrapers, and there are also small buildings here, just try to clean them up, not much, because they will be seen from a very long distance and we are still early. There is no need to fix everything, because if you do that, you're just wasting your time still trying to convey the idea of the project and getting there step by step. The terrain and some elements of the complete project, as I mentioned before, is like mainly or half of it made with a graffiti sketch. You can tell here from the you can tell here from the brush strokes that, for example, later once we have a shot like this, we need to redo some 3D modeling, right? So I think in the next stream we will get more into 3D modeling. Today we'll try just to achieve this as fast as possible. Yeah, and the train, it will be moving inside Unreal Engine. We will put some motion blur on it. I don't know if we can do that today, but I'm not worried too much about the train. It's also painted. Virtual reality is something, so that's that. Yeah, if we wanna just check the topology real quick, nothing really special going on, just a bunch of like very fastly finished 3D buildings. And I think the next step of the project in the future could like buy Utopia from Kitbash 3D. It's a very nice kit, and the main reason I like it is also the same artist who did these buildings made in collaboration with Utopia, walking you through his process of creating the final art of the kit is this. Anyway, let me give you the link and you can watch it on your pace. Super nice tutorial. It's this. Let me find you the picture because it's really nice. So it's a good idea to get like things that can make your workflow faster. depends on what you're trying to achieve. So this cover art, same process, not gravity sketch this time, but Cinema 4D then paint over in Photoshop, and you can achieve similar results. Unfortunately in Unreal Engine we can't paint over stuff, but it is what it is. That's the fun part of it. I exported these buildings with DataMath. Simply, you don't know the DataMath exporter, just save them as DataMath, and inside Unreal Engine, let me hide this, they look like something like this. So, assets. What is the best way to create cinematic animation cameras? That's a great question. When creating cinematics is like, it's a process, but start with an idea, a mood board, take screenshots of your project and choose the top 5 screenshots, make these shots are the animated shots you start your cinematic with. So just take screenshots like this and then go to a program like PureRef, put them next to each other, then find good music, and once you find the good music, the good shots, that's it. Basically, in a nutshell, how to make a good cinematic. And the music must be good. Must be good. Bad music, no one will watch the cinematic. I use Epidemic Sound. There is a link in the description for our cinematics. Like, it's a good music service. Any more questions, guys? So far so good. Thank you all for sticking around, and let's continue what we're doing here. So exported these from Max to Unreal Engine with the DataMath exporter, and I have ray tracing enabled. Let's disable that. It's not good to enable ray tracing on 1080 Ti. To disable ray tracing features, by the way, if you press tilde key like so, you see this command and r.raytracing, then another dot, force all ray tracing effects. We set this on 0, and look now at the frame rate. Boom. In case like I enable ray tracing to bake lights or other reasons. Unreal Engine is going crazy. I can't see these sometimes. So here I exported with the materials just to preserve the material IDs, and for now they look fine. They're not bad, especially we will see them from like a similar distance to our project here from this shot. So far so good, especially when we add shadows and all, fog, atmospheric effects. They have only 2 simple materials. Metallic for the glass, which is kinda funny, but I thought it would look good. So the material, basically there is a color and scalar parameter to the metallic, another scalar parameter to the roughness, then just 2 material instances. One, the white color we see here on the buildings, and let's just give it MI, material instance, color. All my color materials should start like this, and then we can type the name of the color to slightly keep things organized. Slightly, look at this. I like tea. Alright, and the glass, it just looked from distance. When we set it the metallic value to 1, it just looked really reflective, like nice. So 0, when it's not metallic, your glass will look plastically, that's a new word. And when it's metallic, it will look like the reflections will look nice. So that's a trick you can use in your project. And then you can set the roughness to something like 0.1, 0.5 is too much, so just 0.1. And if you want to take this to the next level, I think I already tried to do that, but I had problems with import and export, is two things. We can remove the mesh smoothing on the windows here, so we can have an effect slightly similar to this. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. actually I think it's here. Yeah, with when you remove the mesh smoothing we get something similar to this, but for some reason I messed up and smoothed everything, so I need to re-import and export again. And the second thing you can do is adding imperfections from Quixel library. So if you go home and imperfections, there is so many imperfections you can get their textures and then add them to your metal texture, and we will do this in a moment. So let's actually try doing that now. The grunge, and let's set it to Unreal. Let's see this. We can plug it in the roughness slot. If you see this mess, this is how I do my environment projects. I just save so many packs from the marketplace and have my levels and my projects in one place. And then once I'm finished with the project, I just migrate it outside so it can be smaller in size. It's a good idea to have like a master project of the things you're doing constantly. So we want to find, see, another tip. We have so many folders now, and I'm trying to find the Quixel folder, the mega scans. There are so many folders here, so if you right click any folder you can set a color for it. And for the mega scans, let's set it to bluish, similar to Quixel. Not the mannequin, sorry. Noise. And for some reason I know that mega scans, when we export something, it takes us it located directly in the content browser, but for some reason for me it does not do that. Anyone is facing the same problem here? So I need to find that manually if I could. So yeah, found it. That's a nice looking texture. Let's see what channels it have. I think it's baked, right? Interesting. Alpha, make sure it's set to alpha, and no sRGB is unchecked because this is a gray image. And let's open it just for now real quick, because we need to locate our master material. Locate the texture again, and to add the texture to the material editor you can just simply click and drag, or if the texture is selected, and since it's a texture, the shortcut T, if you hold T and then left mouse click, it will add the texture sample for you. And let's see what could we do here. So I'm gonna add a lerp and make roughness A and roughness B, basically roughness min and max, to have more control over my roughness map. And we will connect the R if possible, and let's see how this will look. Ivan Shiro, welcome to the stream, buddy. It's good to have you back. Imran, Naim, welcome too, and I'm glad you find that a good tip. Actually, yes, I always do that, migrating. I have sometimes, similar to the incremental save we do in 3ds Max, let's say, I do the same for my projects. If I can show you, here's an example. The master class we are doing right now is considered like an ongoing project that I'm constantly improving on and trying to find topics to talk about. So I think this version 4 of the master class, 9 gigabytes after I deleted some stuff, but the early version, because I had so many assets in my project is like 50 gigabytes, and I think many of you are familiar with this. So I just go to my maps folder. Let's say this is my main map. I right click this map and migrate it to a new project, and Unreal Engine will take only the files that relates to this map only for this map to work. So if your project is like 50 gigabytes, it could just be 5 gigabytes, but you have so many unused assets in your project. Another cool tip on organizing the projects is actually a nice little script called safe delete. So this little nice script here, when let's say you want to clean up this folder, if you right click and press delete, you will delete all of it, right? There is a little nice tool called safe delete. It's below delete. It will delete only the unused assets, and it works really well. However, don't do it on the main project. Just do it on smaller folders, you know. So yeah, this tool here, I love it. It's so good. Did I post this to the chat? Let me do that. No, what did I post? No, nothing. I tried to post this to chat. Take this, guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for covering the imperfection. Yes, we will continue on the imperfection. I'm not finished yet because I think I've done something wrong. I love doing making mistakes like this to learn from it. How I'm answering you. How Willisteen? How accurate is this? How Willisteen? It's a pleasure, man. I hope I pronounced your name at least 60% correct. When you create interior scenes, are you using ready assets for furniture or just modeling everything from scratch? If you are using furniture packs, what are those? It depends. So it's very important. Time is extremely important. So when we get any project or any assignment or anything, we ask ourselves, like once we put a roadmap for the project, we ask ourselves the following question: what are the fastest ways I can finish and deliver this project in the highest quality and in the fastest time possible? So using pre-made assets, I think in our industry is a must. Everyone should be using pre-made assets unless you are someone who loves to make assets like furniture and then you can sell them. Because if you get a project of an apartment, if you want to make everything from scratch, like thinking of how many elements are inside this project, it might take you a month or 2 months, and that's just an apartment, depending on how detailed it is. The packs I love online, mainly there is a company called Model Plus Model. They provide really nice high quality assets, but you need Datasmith to export many of them. Who recently started exporting their 3D models to Unreal Engine are CG Axis. CG Axis are also one of the best people who make 3D models for Artstation. Model Plus Model are my number one, I believe. They make super nice assets. Evermotion are very good, obviously. And the fourth and the best one in the market is Viz People. These guys, I think these, like, the amount of love they put in their products is incredible. So I recommend these 4-5 examples I gave, and these are the products I use. These mainly 5 companies, and 3D Sky, of course, for Artstation. 3D Sky is one of the best marketplaces for Artstation furniture. If you get Pro, I think each model, like they all have united price $7. So 3D Sky is one of the very best places if you just want to buy a single model, and these single models sometimes comes with extra things. So $7 for any Pro model, and it had free 3D models. Your limit is 3 downloads a day, I believe. Some of the free models are bad, I don't know, and some of them are really nice. So 3D Sky, if you're working in Artstation and you want some nice quality models for your Unreal Engine projects that you can export with Datasmith, 3D Sky is the way to go for like small pieces of furniture. Thank you for asking that question. It's a very good question, by the way. I am currently working on parallel worlds games. Do you have any good ideas for building shapes in other worlds? Honestly, I did not understand your question. The only game I thought about, like when you said parallel, is Portal 2, if you know it. Could you talk more about your game? Like specify the question. I got sidetracked. Sorry. Okay. There is Russian here. Pleasure over matter. Sorry, I don't understand. Ivan. Awesome, guys. Let's continue then. I will just recap what I said when it comes to projects. So we asked ourselves, what are the best way to approach creating this? Okay. The biggest element is the buildings. We took care of them. We placed them inside Unreal Engine, and now they are ready to use. Right? They look good. We could scale them up, scale them down. No problem. The next thing to do is alright, how are we going to place all these buildings in Unreal Engine so they can look as close to this as possible, right? And I was this morning trying to answer that question, so I opened the main project that have 20 million polygons, which is this project, and I started, if you look here, all of this, the mesh here, it's almost in one file, right? And like these few nulls. So I was selecting the different elements of this project and isolating them in their own separate folders, like so. So I can easily just block out boxes or anything above them, and also easily, let's say I don't want the windmills, boom, hide. Skyscrapers, goodbye, and so on. So the way I work around this, I make these layers and I start selecting stuff. So in this case, what do we want? We want the skyscrapers because we are adding the buildings to the skyscrapers here. So I try to select what I can select, like so, right? And basically that's what we'll be doing now. Not all of it. I'm gonna try to make this not very boring, but sometimes the boring things need to be done, guys. We select these buildings, then I isolate my selection, deselect what I selected by mistake, isolate again, looking good. Sometimes in meshes like this, when I see so many selection brackets, I just select this and I use a script called Rapid Tools. It have so many rapid tools, and it have, like, for example, fast attach. If you are using 3ds Max, this tool is a must, actually. I think Rapid Tools. Hello, Brahim Singh, welcome. Yeah, CG axes are good. I'm glad you found that answer useful, Walker Annie. Alright, Ivan, you're asking about concept art in general for your game. What I recommend you doing. So here's how I find these images. I just go to Pinterest or Google and type keywords similar to what I am trying to create. So if you look at this city, some of the closest concept arts are from a game called Mirror's Edge, right? I love that game. So if you are making a game about something, try to think if there is similar games and try to collect what inspires you from those games, put it all somewhere, and then just make that your starting point. That's the tip I would give. So let's go back real quick to 3ds Max to finish what we started and cancel autosave. We enable the layer here, so when we click on add selection to current layer, as you have noticed, so this is it just hide them automatically. So I treat my 3ds Max file as also my to-do list. So my to-do list, for example, today is these things, just fill them, right? So that's another way to approach projects. How's the music, guys? Do you like it? Louder? Lower? It's your boy Harris Hiller. Selected these buildings and just click add to current layer and they will be gone. And I know later I'm replacing the complete ground with a real landscape I'm going to make with your boy word creator. We will get into this in a moment, so we can delete anything that has to do with the floor. And yeah, you can tell how nightmarish it is. Let's get bash stuff together. So here's windmills. Could select them like this. Keep in mind, when trying to select objects, selecting this windmill like this could be much harder if we just go to top. So keep it a habit, like explore moving around in your viewport, trying to find the easiest way to generally do your current task. For example, selection, just don't stay in one static camera or choose hard angles to work with. Could use I will do this fast, guys, okay? So not to bore you to death. That's why I choose to have good music on the stream. So let's select these. Make sure skyscrapers is selected and just click boom. Windmills. This guy. Sometimes I try to select as many meshes like this, for example. I isolate my selection and I look, oh, I'm not using this, excuse me. So I just isolate, delete, and it will go back to my latest view. Sometimes just, why not? I don't think what sucks about this, that you need to keep enabling your correct layers. Your buckets, let's call them. I don't want to clean this. Let's just choose the buildings so we can start replacing them inside Unreal. Ivan, it's my pleasure, bro. And good luck with your game. Since when you started your game? For how long have you been working on it? And for how long have you guys been working on Unreal Engine? Can you tell me in the chat so I know you're, like, in general, who's watching? Yeah. Oh shit. I make all the materials inside Unreal Engine, but it depends on what materials. For example, this morning I was working on the landscapes of this project. Let me show you if I can. Give me a moment and I will talk about the materials. For landscapes, I use Quixel materials. So I make the landscape first in Word Creator, send it to Quixel Mixer, do my texturing there, then send it as a background mountain to Unreal Engine. And here in Blender, I just like to do a test. So here's the wireframe of these terrains, for example. This one is super low poly, have the materials made in Quixel Mixer, and I will show you the process once we get to it. And this one just have more subdivisions, and you can see how nicer it looks. It's been 2 weeks for you in Unreal Engine. Welcome to the community. I think you're our newest member here. 3ds Max. Please stop autosave. I should actually disable that. Files. Autosave every that amount of minutes. I'm going to delete stuff. So because we're sending all of this again to Unreal Engine, but we are replacing them with the buildings we have. I think selecting like this is not good. Oh my god, that's fine. What is this? Edit mesh, like a box. Could we select similar? See, that's the problem with these files. Sometimes it's just does not work as intended. But we can select all cubes, hopefully. Let's see if we do this. Yeah, that's nice. Can we select all objects? This is why it's extremely important to when you work for production, not for concept art, to have like things as organized as possible. That's why before I start any production project, I spend some time doing the boring stuff, that organizing my project a little bit, so when there are any changes or any feedback or just anything, it won't be painful to work on your project. Because if it's painful, you will hate the project and you will not be able to finish the job the way you want to finish the job. So it's a good practice to organize stuff as much as possible. Let's just delete all of these. Havelstein, 1 year give or take. Nice. And tell me guys, do you mainly work with Unreal Engine for architecture? I mean, like most of us, yes, because the channel mainly is around architecture. But do you use Unreal Engine for? Tell me, what do you use Unreal Engine for, in general? And what type of tutorials do you wanna see more? Lighting, architecture, this stuff. We don't need these trees. By pressing that shortcut, all the edit poly objects would be collapsed to one object, like from 40 objects to one with one click. So let's see this guy, it's just one object. Here. It's so like the reason we have really bad performance in our Unreal Engine project, not like the best performance, and we technically have nothing. We just have 20 million meshes and thousands of actors and just a skylight and the sun. By the way, look at how beautiful the sun is when we change the direction. I think that's the beauty of having at the end of the project like ray tracing enabled on the reflections and whatnot. So we're nearly there, guys, nearly finished. And skyscrapers again. Just returned to Unreal Engine a month ago after 2 years break. 2 years break! Wow! Welcome back! Had about 6 months with it before. The version I used to work with, yeah, 4.19. Good old days. There is so many new stuff. Now in Unreal 4.26, out of the box, you can create water, ocean, clouds, all of these good stuff that used to take us literally weeks. So welcome back. Unreal Engine, since 4.19, it really did improve a lot. And I think the first version of the GPU Light Mask was released by Lu Shuang on 4.19, I believe. Just delete. There are all kinds of weird meshes. You know what? Get out of here. Interactive art presentations. Yes, that's one of the best uses for in Unreal Engine. Like when I like interactive architecture, it's just 100 million times better than one render, where the ability to walk inside whatever you are building in the future and interacting with it and changing stuff is just amazing. I honestly don't understand other for than the artistic purposes, but why are we still using renderers to produce architectural visualizations, where we could just, well, it depends on the purpose, of course, but I don't know. I think real-time architecture is 10 times better than static images. I don't know what's wrong. Ah, look at this. Get out of here. Now we can collapse because we had two types of meshes selected. So let me show you something in Max. If you're, let's say I deleted that helper object, right? So if you press F11 and open the Max script listener, that helper object, we can type like, I don't know if this select will work. Yeah, it did. But with one click or one sentence, select helpers, it selected for me 1600 actors, objects in the scene that I can just simply delete, right? And I can see noticeable difference in my viewport. And the same for lights. So let's say in your I think this is possible in Blender, by the way. Does anyone know how to do this in Blender? I'm trying to migrate to Blender slowly, like to learn it. It's a very nice tool, but there are some things I just can't get rid of. So here, if you just type delete lights, it will the same for cameras and so many other types of actors. Here is the bridge. Yeah, I know you on Discord. Welcome, guys. It's good to see you all. We have a question. Have you or anyone here been struggling in general with GPU light mask baking in 426, where there is quite a bit of flickering? Then you need to disable texture streaming. So that's one of the problems I am suffering with the GPU light mask in 426. If I enable the virtual texture streaming, sometimes it causes issues when you are moving close or far from certain meshes. I don't know why it happens only on certain meshes. That's problem number one, but I think it will be solved for 27, I hope. And the next problem, sometimes with the current GPU light mask in 426, sometimes it happened twice, actually, not sometimes. I get black boxes in my project out of nowhere, and they just don't want to go away. The project were like, it was working perfectly, and then there is like a black box scattered around the project, and it just doesn't make sense. So if you're considering to make any project in Unreal Engine for production, and for production I mean for a customer, and you have a hard deadline and you don't want any surprises, stick to Unreal Engine 425 until me and like people in the community say otherwise. Why? Well, because the current GPU Lightmass in 426 is in beta, and all these issues are only natural because it's in beta. So no one recommend using beta tools for production projects. But I am super excited about the next versions of the GPU Lightmass, especially I think hopefully in 427, please, to have these issues fixed. Because other than that, it's really nice to see how you're like. There are errors I get with the GPU Lightmass in 425 where I forget to do something to up the lightmap res, but with the current GPU Lightmass in 426 it just becomes slightly easier or much easier to avoid some mistakes that I used to do in 425, and to see how progress bars and stuff, it's kinda cool. I don't know which one is faster, by the way, and I have been thinking about making a comparison between 425 and 426 and the CPU Lightmass for a while, and I think I should not think about it and actually do it. So I promise I'm not gonna promise, but I am gonna do it. The comparison. I prepared the scene as a test scene, and like I wanna change all the values and like see what this one does and what that one does, and just take screenshots. So I like wanna do something that is in depth, not oh this one takes this and this one takes that. So project by project, guys. But I love this idea. Yeah, going back to 425 for production projects is the right choice. If you don't want surprises, if you are willing to deal with surprises and like stuff, use use the beta stuff. I am sorry guys, I think I bored you to death with this 3ds Max scene, but I promise you we're nearly finished here. Actually, let's call it a day. Let's put all of these in the architecture, skyscrapers. I think, please, should I regret this? Let's make them in their new layer, so I don't regret this. I can fix it off camera. So let's make a new layer. Call it just buildings. And delete these for the good luck. So if I had an eye, where do you come in? Huh. Okay. So you boy, just go here. Only the large buildings that we really care about. So I guess these two. And this guy here, it's all mirrored, by the way, all like painted with brush strokes in VR, then mirrored. I learned so much from watching these 3D files. Any more questions? I think all of it is good. Thank you. Hey, Darshan, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. You also had black boxes? Yeah. So I'm not alone. On the Discord community I saw another member who also had the same problem. And 3ds Max is not responding. I hope it does not crash on us, guys, because half of our work will be gone. I'm not gonna touch it. Let's see the chat. Unreal Max, please. I think I did something stupid, migrating. Forget about it. I didn't do anything stupid. Set it there, and okay. if you wanna start with the project, let's ignore all the bridges, keep the camera, no planters, keep the skyscrapers, and no windmills. We could start like this. We could start like this, guys. How many meshes in total if we do this? 800. We don't want this camera. 800. Let's attach some meshes together real quick. Not like this. What is the best way to do this? I don't want Max to crash on me and lose everything, so I'm gonna save. Hey Habibi! Aragon, welcome to the stream. Don't you guys hate it when your 3D tool crash on you and then like you get to the habit of saving every 5 minutes or 5 seconds? Shaun Bicker, hey buddy, how is your day going? Shaun, how are you? It's the first time I see you here. Welcome. So I asked a question 20 minutes ago. Some people answered. I like your answers, but I'm gonna ask it again. Some of you are new here. For how long have you been using Unreal Engine, and what do you use Unreal Engine for? And for those of you who are new here, today we are creating a concept art based on Leon Tukker. Basically, this into Unreal Engine, step by step. So we were isolating all of our meshes, so we can now replace these bad meshes with the better meshes we did separately. I'm glad you're doing good, Shaun. That's awesome. I am doing great, man. Thank you so much. It's a great day. I'm super happy I'm working on this project. Things are going well. Life is good. Music is good. But 3ds Max is not good. Why you do this? I'm trying not to do things that usually when I'm working without streaming that would take 2-3 minutes, where I just take a walk around the room until 3ds Max finish calculating his stuff. Because I don't want the stream to crash on us. So basically, guys, let's say you're trying to achieve something similar and you have like blockouts like this. You see what I'm trying to do? I'm just migrating whatever I can migrate together. I'm gonna like select all of these guys here, so we don't have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of meshes in our project. 3ds Max does not want to migrate. We could delete some stuff. Let's delete the bridge. I like how the bridge goes inside of these buildings here. I don't know if I'm mistaken, but this here could be this shot, right? Yeah, I think so. Actually, it is, right? So let's not delete the bridge, just collapse it. Shaun, my man, been using Unreal Engine for a year and I'm trying to learn a good way to make buildings. What type of buildings you're trying to make? Real life buildings for art phase, or some stuff for like concept art or games? And let's add this to the noise layer that is called bridge. And the same for this bridge. Okay, I think we're good. just gonna collapse everything. And one way sometimes I try to see what's exactly going on with my selection here, because 700 actors, but this does not seem like 700 actors, but you can see from the pivot points here how many of them are. So one quick way to deal with this, if you go to any other view in any 3D tool, by the way, and then just deselect away from these guys, so you can select them, keep your selection on them, right? So here we have a bridge, trying to find a nice angle to select it. I'm gonna collapse it. And then add it to that layer. And we do the same for this guy. Cool. Here we do have the same. Attached together, and instead of 90 objects, let them be one, because all of these will be replaced later with blueprint actors that automatically extend meshes for us. I'm going to try that one that came Rural Australia. It came free 2 days ago. It has some blueprints. I'm gonna try these and see how it goes for the fences. Let's add this here. By the way, if you don't know what Rural Australia is, there is this new free pack that was released on the marketplace 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I made a video about it. We're gonna upload it today or tomorrow, on how to use it, how to use the landscape material, and how just to deal with these type of projects. It's extremely amazing, super optimized, and on my potato computer is working on 120 frames per second on some scenes. So this all for free if you watch the short film Memories of Australia 10 months ago or something. So that's some piece of news for you guys in between. Guys, can we please get a score for Yahya's shirt? The vacation shirt, guys. 1 to 10. 10 is amazing. You want this shirt. 1 is he will not wear it again. I like this shirt, guys. 10. Aragon, thank you. And thank you for behind the scenes for helping me monetizing the chat. Not monetizing. Replying to the chat. 3D concept artist, thank you. I'm getting a lot of inspiration watching your tutorials. Thank you, this means so much. I like giving inspiration. I get inspired too. Hey, Bosco Studio, welcome. It's good to have you back, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since I streamed, so that's on me. It's good to have you guys. I really enjoy like looking at the chat, talking to you, all these people come in. Nice. Okay, now I promise you we've finished optimizing this scene. Just press Ctrl S to save it, and then we will export these buildings to replace them, to try and replace them in Unreal Engine with the other buildings we have. Yahya. See, you can pronounce my name is 2 ways. The Arabic version is Yahya, you know, like the ha, Yahya, or the English version Yahya. So it's up to you. Navid Omar Daraz, how's Ramadan going? 10 for that shirt. Well, thank you for that 10. I like it. Ramadan is going well. Life is good. Thank you for asking. How about you? How is it going for you? Okay, saving. nearly done saving. Unreal Engine 5 is definitely coming. I think it's should be, don't take my word on it, but it's supposed to, we are supposed to touch it in a month or 2 months maximum, no more than that. I'm trying to make buildings for games. Modular buildings you're trying to work on, Sean? I love making buildings for games. Okay. I will export the city borders and these planters. No, the planters and the bridge we will export separately, and this is also separately. It's totally possible to export our project with one click, but at this point, or like generally, it's not recommended, because maybe later off camera I may want to do some fixing here so I can export the same file and without re-exporting the complete project. So I have a shortcut, just like anything that can save me time instead of going to file, then find export and export. I usually, the most common things I use, I just directly set a shortcut to it. It does not matter what tool you're using. Do your best to set shortcuts, and if you can save 5 seconds here, 10 seconds there, they will accumulate, you know. So Alt E to export, and when it comes to data.meth, because it just creates temp files that you can delete later, I have on my working drive data.meth_temp, so I know like I can delete this one every now and then. I'm gonna call this city bridge folder, and we will save as data.meth, but this is 3ds Max 2022 and it does not have data.meth yet. If I want to open this scene on Unreal Engine 4.21, it will take a while. Let's check. I checked yesterday, there is no data.meth for Unreal 3ds Max 2022. Alhamdulillah, very well, thank you Yahya. Thank you man, Naveed. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos we're making. It really means a lot to us, all of us. Your feedback, guys, like when you like say these kind words or give us feedback, makes us happy. Generally, anytime you think any video could be improved or there's something you don't like, even my microphone, I know many of you guys don't like my microphone, leave a comment. Let us know how can we improve and what videos you wanna see, what you want us to cover. Let us know. Your feedback is super valuable, guys, because after all, these videos are just meant for you. Data.meth here, get the plugins, and we are still at 2021. I hope we get this one soon, the 2022. The way I would work with this, so we don't spend 5 hours opening this map, I'm gonna save this as city. I'm gonna make a new folder. I don't want to mix so many things. So city 21, if you know 21, and let's save to 2021. Yeah man, take your time Sean. Yes. Okay, once you're back, let me know. I will answer your question on modular buildings in a moment. Awesome. Actually, he is not here, so he cannot hear me. Okay, once you're back, let me know. I have a great site that we can learn from, guys. It's called 80 level. Saving the scene. We can reset this. For all of you who are new here, these buildings were exactly just like the buildings we saw, but are slightly more processed, and all of these buildings meshed together would create something like this, and this is what we're trying to create in these streams. So far we are here, not too far, but too far, because all of this needs optimization. And now let's reset 3ds Max here and not save. And let's open that map. Oh, I had to click save selected, right? File, save selected. Hey Sean, welcome back. So your question was, yes, modular buildings, I'm not sure how to make them modular. I can make buildings, but I don't have any experience with making modular buildings. Which tool do you use for to create your buildings? I could recommend you some tutorials based on that. And while 3ds Max is exporting, I learned so much about modular buildings, or the industry in general, from this website, 80 level. And if you just simply here go to the search and type modular, there are some amazing interviews with amazing, super talented artists about all types of modular stuff. So let's try modular building, and there are some really good tutorials on modular buildings. These are the Megascans assets. Complex modular architecture environment. You can find there, if there is something you're looking for that about like the game dev, I think you will find it in this website. And this is the article I was searching for. This is you're so lucky. I wanted to find you this. Let's go. Read this. I think here the Maya or 3ds Max, can't remember, super old. And for Blender, I'm glad you're using Blender, because there is a tutorial here. It's not about the tool, by the way. They talk about like the theory stuff and how you should look at your reference and how to break it down like so. So you try to analyze what's modular here, and like they take you step by step in these really nice articles. And you can see how we can start from a very ugly block out, just like we have in our project now, and hopefully we can get not ugly, sorry Leon, but starting from block outs to the final result. So 80 level is one of the best websites to get. There is also experience points, like so many websites. Just pick your website and read some stuff. For Blender, I remember there is, because I'm super beginner in Blender, I'm trying to learn it, right? And there is this guy who makes, I think, yeah, this tutorial. This is a really good tutorial on modular buildings too. He have multiple tutorials on that. Sakib. So here's the video for you too. And I tried this like few months ago, and I never completed it, but like this is a really good one, and his channel in general is really good. Here's a sub. It's my pleasure. Okay, let's make a new map that we already have, which is this. Should be completely empty. Yes, and now we need to import our city. So hopefully 3ds Max finished. Don't you hate it when you forget to set the max version? By the way, thank you. I did my first project in Unreal Engine for from your YouTube series, and after 2 months I got good job as an nice. And after 2 months I got good job as Unreal Engine artist. I brought your course to your man, thank you so much, Shardul. First, congrats on your job. I'm very happy you landed the job, and like that's incredible. That's exactly what I'm trying to achieve. To help people learn Unreal Engine, starting with the architecture, so they can build their projects and hopefully find jobs, opportunities, and like cool stuff. You know, like not only learn Unreal Engine, but like make living. You know, doing things we love. So this made my day. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Shardul, thank you man, really. I'm very happy. Naveed Omar. Naveed Maman, what country are you streaming from, Yahya? I am currently in Istanbul. Been living in Istanbul for 5 years, and before Istanbul, Algeria for 5 years, and I originally come from Syria. So Istanbul here. There is Lahmacun. It's beautiful country, beautiful city. And kunafa. If you don't know Lahmacun is the... Do you guys know Lahmacun? Type yes or no in the chat. I'm curious. Yes or no, do you know Lahmacun? I hate myself. Look what I did. I first saved the file selected only on 3S Max 2022, forgot to switch it back to 2021. And now when I saved it for 2021, I forgot to save it only selected only. Poof. Save selected 2021 and 2021. Please work. Thank you. I'm glad I hope you find these links useful. Turkish pizza, lahmacun, yes. Let me show you lahmacun, guys. But I didn't eat anything today. I'm dying. It's not that I am fasting, but I sometimes completely forget to eat. And today and yesterday I've completely forgot to eat until like 8 p.m. and that's not healthy, but this is killing me, guys. This is lahmacun, the Turkish pizza. I love it. Go away. Moment of truth. Oh, import, merge, not import. Yes. Select all. Are there any other useful sites, useful websites, like on news on the game industry, like other than 80 level? You mean? Pleasure over matter. I like your name. It's funny. It seems to me there's like 20-30 seconds delay, guys. Wow. One of the benefits in living in Turkey. The relaxed internet. Did anything import here? Ah, yeah. Okay. See, here's a problem. I just remembered. Usually I like to set my projects in the middle of the word. So, where is my focus point? Let's say here or here, like I said this here. But since the project, I think one of the problems I didn't solve with the project here yet, that since it's concept art, the scale basically does not matter, but is the scene scale. So here's what a cube looks like. I need to check, but for now let's not worry about that. I can always fix this off stream. Let's get some results today. So let's export this as data math. I hope I exported, no? I did. I just forgot. I don't know. Buildings. Yeah. Lahmacun for the win. Similar to 80 level, there is a website called Experience Points, which is EXP points. It's another very good website with a very nice, amazing Discord community and really good articles and challenges and stuff. So that's that. And speaking of Discord, guys, join us. There is so much going on Discord. And I will be doing the announcements for I do like all the announcements of everything we're doing on Discord. And I think we're nearly at 800 people. Wow. Okay. Let's import the buildings we exported now, and let's see how we can see what can we do with them. So mainly we want to replace the buildings, these ugly buildings, with the buildings we have. So let's just click OK, and let's save our project here. Sorry. Let's click OK. We only want the geometry, we don't want anything else, and we don't care about the static mesh options because we're not gonna bake the light. The light will be dynamic. I don't know how to pronounce your name. It's written in Russian. Could you like help me and like in English how to pronounce? Okay, the first thing we should add, like when you start a new map, is lights, because we can't see anything. So just quickly go to place actors, lights, and directional light for the sun, skylight, set it to movable for the skylight, and from the visual effects, post-process volume, sky atmosphere, and exponential height fog. And once we add sky atmosphere, we need to select our directional light. You can just quickly search for it here. What? We can quickly search for it here, okay? And then search here in the components for sun fog something. What was it? I got brain freeze, guys. Okay, it is the atmosphere and cloud. Atmosphere sunlight, just enable this and we should have like atmosphere. This flickering I'm getting here is weird, but it might be because of the mesh. I don't know. So my initial idea, let's say this is the center of the city. I was thinking of creating a landscape here and try to shape it on this part, at least where it floats above the water. So if you look at our reference, here's the you know, port. What do we call this part in English? I was trying to find some reference images today on these parts, like when, you know, but I just couldn't know the keywords. My name is Konstantin. Konstantin, welcome to our stream. It's a pleasure to have you. I pronounced it right? Konstantin. Nice to meet you. I hope you're enjoying the stream so far, guys. Especially you, Konstantin. Okay, back to our topic here. These buildings, these are some of them. If we open our assets map, I would like to copy all the assets from that map and just scale them up and down here. See how can we start. Hey, Aki, Akram, welcome, man. How are you? It was great meeting you today. Okay, guys, to quickly place or like to select what's below our data math actor, in our case this guy, all of these, just press Ctrl Shift D and it will select everything below, instead of like clicking here, then scrolling, then select like this. The same concept. If you can say 5 seconds here, 10 seconds there, 2 seconds here, they will just add up. And like, think of it, hey, I've been working in this 5 years and I've been saving so many 5 seconds for 5 years. It will just add up, trust me. Ctrl Shift D, Ctrl C, open here, save. And it would, using shortcuts, make you look like a ninja. It's kinda cool. So also do it. For some reason Unreal just does not want to show me these guys, the transform axes. Sometimes, as you saw, wait, I was like here and scrolling all the way down. It is a good habit to every now and then just go all the way up, press Shift and click on the new word editor here, the first thing, on the arrow, and it will collapse everything. So if you have like tens of folders or whatever, by pressing Shift and collapsing the menu, then just press again, everything is collapsed. So this would just save you so much scrolling up and down forever and ever. You know what I mean? So let's see, where can we start? We can select the buildings that look like this guy and select this guy. Press H to isolate. H is a custom shortcut I did. If you go right click on any mesh you have, the visibility, show only selected. If you go to your editor preferences and search here for that command or any other command, there is a very big chance you will find it here, right? So show only selected, it's set to H, and that's how I isolate my selection. I isolate my selection here just because it makes it so much easier to like go to the tab, select my building, press Alt and like duplicate it, press E to rotate, W to translate, R to scale, right? And set the word transform axis, just make sure that is enabled so it can be easier for you to move things around, right? They does not have to be perfect. And interesting, you see what's going on here? Sometimes it's going crazy, like it was normal. It's because I have the surface snapping enabled. I will tell you more about this in a moment, but this is one of the best things I ever discovered recently in Unreal. And why, I will tell you about it in a moment, not now, to get you excited. Because I fear if I tell you now you will leave me. No, you won't. Once I find a good use case scenario, I will demonstrate this for you. It's funny, it's been here for 5 years, 6 years, and the first time I thought I could see what is this, it was like just 2 weeks ago. The more you know. What are you doing? I think it's because of the surface snapping. Okay, so we can just reset rotation and rotate like so. I'm trying to preserve Leon's original placement of all the buildings because we need to achieve the exact same result we have in our concept here. Like these buildings should be placed here, and so we can get this skyline, right? So that's why I cleaned the 3ds Max file. That's why I tried to organize my layers better so I can achieve this slightly easier. Because I will tell you, when I first got this project, I had no idea where I'm going to start. But perhaps starting small or starting with the big stuff could like be a step in the right direction. And generally, when it comes to starting new projects, see, one of the nice skills we could train in general is the ability to visualize, not on the PC or like just here in the brain. Like do this and imagine yourself working on this project, right? For a day or 2 or 3 days, and then like imagine yourself approaching this project and like you will figure it out. See, how can I put this in the correct words? You'll figure it out. Mainly, like there is no one who knows everything they're doing. Making mistakes and making errors and approaching scary stuff is the best way to learn. Questions? Any questions? So the demonstration that's a good one. The dangers of surface snapping. That's a good one, Zoltan. Okay. What is the other building? So let's start this guy. If you go to the tab, and if you click somewhere where there is no mesh, you can make a marquee selection like this, right? Marquee, I don't know, rectangular selection, I think that's the right word for it. But if you click on a mesh and then click, it will also do the same. Sometimes then, okay. So by pressing Ctrl and clicking anywhere or on that mesh will move it in the X and Y. I always mix these up. So don't worry, just click anywhere then, like so. Nice. The more you know. I was always scared of like, I need to find sometimes, fuck, I need to find this, you know. So, the more you know. Nice. Press Alt. Not Alt actually. How? So I want to experiment if we can deselect, because now when we have stuff selected and we press Ctrl and move, we can't deselect. We can't create that box again. And if we right click, it will rotate it when we are from orthographic views. So what was it? So now press Alt, left mouse button, it will highlight this. What if we press Alt and, oh shit, and right mouse button, for some reason it will just pan around. Okay, it seems that there is no way to deselect from our selection, which is, unless, do you guys know? This is a problem, I always hate it. Like, I have this selection, what if I just want to deselect this by just doing this? Right? It's stupid, I know, but it's extremely useful when selecting so many meshes. So the other thing we can do, just select these guys and hide them. And that good boy is this, I believe. You see, if I deselect everything, press F, nothing happens. When I selected that here, sorry, press F, then what did I do? There is a way to like zoom extents. I just did it. I forgot. Sorry about that, guys. Just press F to focus selected or double click, like so. And I need to search for the zoom extents. That's the beauty of kit bashing. Can scale up, down, make them big, small. The ultimate creative freedom. I don't think we need. So these buildings, if looking from the side, sorry about the mic. I know I should not move it. I apologize. I thought I did something. I'm just imagining stuff. Okay, sorry. I was just trying to deselect that. What are your suggestions while working on exterior and interior together in one map about lighting? The first thing is having two post-process volumes for your project, one for the exterior part of your project and one that activates once you enter the interior of your project. One, you know, for like the exterior exposure where the sun is super bright, and one to be able to see all the details you have in your interior project with good lighting conditions. That's one. Number two, I would recommend always having multiple levels like so, and then mixing them together with the levels tab here, where you can have as many levels as you want for organization and optimization issues, or like purposes to keep in mind. Because if your project is big, you could always stream specific levels. So let's say you have a building, you enter the elevator, and then the stream level activates, and it like will unload all levels and just load the interior level. And yeah, levels is super important, having like multiple levels, one for the exterior, one the furniture, one for the interior. Why having multiple levels also is very important, because when you have an Artstation project and you bake the lights and things looking amazing, but you try to export your project later and you can't, especially exterior interior projects. Why you can't? Because in the light map resolution to be exported, like the map data, this file should not be bigger than 2 gigabytes, I believe. Once this guy gets like 2-3 gigabytes or something, it cannot be exported. So you need to divide your project on multiple levels so they can share the light map bake data textures across multiple levels, so you can avoid many errors. Do I have any other notes on that? What is it? How large your project, the exterior interior project? Yeah, just keep things organized too. I'm reading if there's any other question. I guess you did not see my question. Oh, sorry. I would like to repeat my question. When are you going to publish interactive with the blueprint tutorial on Gumroad? I recorded all the blueprints tutorials all over again, because the first tutorials I made, the ones we have right now, I was thinking like, oh shit, okay, these are not beginner tutorials. So the link I sent to one of the guys, I don't know if you were here before, I just restructured the whole thing, and restructuring the whole thing just took me so much time than I expected. So hopefully in less than 10 days the blueprints and the beginning of unit 2 of the masterclass should be released as videos. I'm extremely sorry for the inactivity on releasing new videos, but I promise you that we are working behind the scenes on structuring the video tutorials in the best way possible, so they can be as useful as possible. So for example, now all videos will have intro and outro as slides and key takeaways and assignments and whatnot. So that's that. And sorry I didn't see your question earlier. I hope this answers your question. And also, you don't have to wait for the videos to work on your project. Well, of course, I know you do. But the support we provide to the students. So let's say you are working on a project right now and you're having a problem with the blueprints and you want to solve it. Just type on it, or like just type where you want to get started with it, and we can help you with solving any problem you're facing on Discord. Of course, we will do our very best to help. If there are things we can solve, no one knows everything. But yeah, please join us on Discord and write about your problems or any questions you have or any feedback or anything you want to see. Thank you for the question, man. Vizul, I hope you pronounced your name well. Zultan, I just tried how to deselect an ortho view. It's Ctrl Alt Shift. Oof. Wait, so if we do this and we press Ctrl Shift Alt. Hey! Thank you! Thank you! So if we do this and you want to subtract selection, thank you Zultan so much. You need to press Ctrl Shift Alt and then click and hold your mouse to deselect. This is why I love live streaming, guys, sharing my problems with you, and like, thank you so much, Sultan. What a shortcut. Control 4 keys for one shortcut. My pleasure, Visual. Expect videos very soon. Also, the first series of the videos, I completely forgot to mention this. If you saw the last email, I mentioned that we think that the videos are too long and not as organized as possible. So we actually re-editing all the videos of the masterclass to make them all of them shorter and more useful, and adding extra behind the scenes like time lapses I took while I was working on the apartment, whether 3D modeling or Unreal Engine or whatnot. So expect so much content to come really soon. The reason I just didn't publish is just I wanted to upload everything in one hit, and the same for the project files too, actually. So if you delete this building, here's the old one. Floating, no problem. Can just make it really, actually, yeah. So let's make a duplicate of it so we can reach the same height. And let's just delete this building and this building. You see, guys, this is why I spent so much time in 3ds Max and bored you to death selecting these actors here and attaching them together, because you see we have this building here, we want to replace it with another building. We can simply select the building we want and select that building with one click and just remove it. On the other hand, there are some buildings that if we select, it's like so many pieces. So this is why it's really important in 3ds Max, like here, when it's possible, to go here and then select all of these separated meshes like this, 41 objects into one object. This just makes it so much easier to replace the block outs you create for your environments. I don't want to bore you to death, so we will not gonna like redo all of these. I think what would be wise is bringing all of my assets, H, the new shortcut, yeah, and then move the assets. Oh, look at that. Oh, not you. Move these here next to our city so it can be easier to select these guys. So let's do this, move them up, not much, but like this much. And I know this guy. This is our original building. See, this building here have two meshes, one for the ball and one for the building or the skyscraper. If you press Ctrl G, you can just assign a group, and once you click, you don't have to select both of them again. So it's just a group, and you can tell from these selection brackets. And if you right click from the groups, you can unlock it or ungroup. some music for me. Okay, let's speak about the dangers of this surface snapping. If we activate it and then we look on what surface we're going to snap this object, so we can tell the pivot point of this object is in the middle, like exactly where it touches the floor. So if you want to put this like exactly on the floor, what I used to do is to go here, like move it on the z-axis, then slow my mouse a little bit, then go and then like suffer until I just bring it here. Well, with the surface snapping tool, and it works surprisingly well once you get the hang of it. For example, what I mean the hang of it, when we go here to the top, we know that this could move. If it snapped on this surface, it could move on the X and Y. So that's what we select, the X and Y, and it will automatically snap to what is below it, right? So it snaps like magic here. You don't have to move on the z-axis and whatnot. And the same works on like quick sell assets and like so almost everything. So just this is a huge time saver. And you want to snap this mesh on this mesh? Okay, then you just click these guys and snap it on. Sorry, let's just slightly try to see where this is going and try to select the correct handles. How? We're getting there now. So if you move it to the right place, this is what I mean getting the hang of it. You see this positioning of the pivot is extremely weird, but it's working. So you need to know what two axes you need to select in order to snap to the, you know, like the plane or the virtual plane that's supposed to on X or Y or Z and whatnot. So the mesh now is rotated like this, and we want to snap it to the surface here and make it stand up again. What do we choose? X and Y, because we want Z to face up, right? And this is the surface snapping tool. It's extremely useful. There is no shortcut set by default on this, so you can go to the editor preferences, search exactly for surface snapping and set a shortcut for it. If someone find this useful or didn't know about it, let me know in the chat. I'm curious how many of you guys knows about the surface snapping, because I found about it just 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, which is super funny. See the downsides of it. Now we want to place this guy in the middle instead of this building, but this happens. So you need to disable it when you're not using it, like so. Now we go to tab and scale up, and we should be good. And remove the old building. This is a warning message we get from DataSmith. It tells you, hey, this is going to be a soft change to the DataSmith scene actor you have. Do you want to proceed? Yeah, yes. We don't care about that mesh there. We have this building that I think looks like this. Is it? Yeah. No. Ah, this one. Moving in the middle. Then when I am scaling, by the way, I'm not selecting these two or only these two. I'm trying to select here on the Z where all of this is highlighted, because if only these two are highlighted without the Z and you scale, it will You know what I mean? So from the top view, when you put your mouse cursor on the Z axis, slightly, it will suffer, it will select all of them. So, guys, you wanna meet Haroon? He's saying meow. This guy. You good boy? Yeah, you can snap to the home grid with the end button, but sometimes it does not work. I don't know why. It could be because there are no collisions. I'm gonna check now actually, see why it does not work. But thank you for the tip, Sean. That's a good one. Sorry, that's a good one. I think this guy is hungry, so I need to give him some food. Or he will keep meowing forever. By the way, if you don't know, like when I am at the top view or perspective or left or right, what I do is pressing Ctrl and then the middle mouse button and like move up to go to top, left, right, and perspective if you move it to this corner, for example, and like move it top, bottom, you know, it's very, very useful. Guys, give me 5 minutes. I need to like feed my cat and wash my face, just rest for, it's been 2 hours streaming here. Wow. I just need 5 minutes, okay? So see you in 5. Don't stop streaming, wait. Be right back. Thank you guys. Hey guys, I'm back. I hope you're still hearing music. My camera is going crazy. I'll fix it in a moment. But let's continue. I'm gonna replace the rest of these buildings, but we're gonna make it slightly faster. So one of the ways we can also do that is by oh, I hear myself twice. By clicking here on maximize or restore viewport. It's like, actually wait, let's do this like this and add another viewport like this on the tab. I usually have it here set on a camera I like. I saw some people in Blender do this, like set a viewport here and then go to where they have camera placed in their project. In my case, we don't have any camera now for some reason. There was supposed to be a camera, but let's say you have a cinematic camera or any camera, you can just place the viewport here and then set the view to wherever you like and just move things to your liking on that camera. Give me a second, my cat is going crazy. Sorry. So in this case, we're not gonna use it for a camera, but we will go to the tab view and select one of these buildings and then press F here. Or just have our buildings selected here. So when we go here, for example, now, and we say, oh, okay, we want this building, unless it's the same building like this, we can just simply look for it here and click it, then bring it to wherever we want it. So, is this building used somewhere? So let's bring it back. I think this building is the same like this guy. Sorry guys. Excuse me. This building here is this one, so we can go here to the tab view, do a selection like this, press H to hide everything first. Just make sure this is the building we want, and there are a few buildings around it that we can add later. We like right now we understand what's going on when we go back to this picture here and we see some of these buildings are up. So there's like a hidden quote-unquote terrain that is raising the height of these buildings, so we can have what looks like a cityscape, right? So we can simply just select this, press Ctrl H, select this guy again, press H to isolate our selection, and again guys, I'm using these the visibility here. You may not have these shortcuts. This is my default shortcuts I've been using for like 2-3 years now. I found them really convenient. Except for Blender, it's kinda the opposite on here, so you may adjust to your, if you use Blender, they are slightly similar. So now we select this building, make a copy, expand it like so, and then hide it, select this and delete it. And if we unhide, we have our new building where it's supposed to be. Just move it down and we should be good. And I think you have a better understanding of what we are doing here in general. We're just trying to replace all of these buildings with the ones we have from the kit bash that Leon made. I have a feeling these two are the same. Hide this guy, select, delete, and then unhide everything. This structure here needs to be remodeled completely because I don't have any building similar to this, and I don't think we're going to see it from our camera. If you're like from a very distant view, we can definitely hide it with other buildings. Drinking some tea. All right. Let's enable surface snapping. I'm not gonna worry about the small buildings now. This building is this building, and this one here, I have a third material that I don't think I created that is supposed to be green. For there is some like bubble vegetation, bubbly. So that's that, and let's call this just green so we can identify it here. And here we have the same problem, so many elements, which is no problem. We go to the tab, make a selection, Control Shift and Alt to deselect. And then press H to isolate to make sure this is our selection. We need to preserve this because we need two buildings of this because to have like I think this was the set. So let's just go here, put it, scale it on the tree axis. Go to the left view, place it where it should be placed. Hide it, then select all of this and delete it. And right click on any actor or the shortcut I usually use, which is show all actors. Let me Alright, finally, good. I think this is the one. Can you guys hear music? All is well? And you can see me now. Let me check. I think yes, you can see me. Hello. We're nearly finished with the first vase here. I'm not gonna spend more time. I'm just gonna bring now. Just replace the similar ones. this guy. We can select all similar buildings. Thank you, Zoltan. It is what it is. At least after finishing this, we would have a solid base to start from. In many cases, when I start a new project, I usually start with the terrain first. So the terrain, then everything else. This time it's the other way around. I am starting from the buildings and then I'm gonna place the terrain. See how I am going to place it. And I know the positioning of these buildings will change dramatically at later point of the project. So, you remember I spoke about the camera that I disabled importing the camera from Datasmith, I just remembered. Well, did you know that you could copy some stuff from a project to project? For example, here in my other Unreal Engine project, I want this camera, right? So, let's just set it unlit. I can just press Ctrl C on the camera here, and basically if you press Ctrl V on a notepad, you will see this, the class information, the position, the name, where it ends, where did it came from, and whatnot. So if we go back to the other project, this guy, and press Ctrl V, we will have the exact same camera that is called terrain and placed potentially in the light. I don't know if it's gonna place it for us. So let's see. We have the exact same camera, terrain, and it's also copy the folders for us, which is called lighting. So for example, let's say I have another Unreal Engine project, this project, that I really like the lighting, atmosphere, the clouds, I like everything, and I want to copy this exact lighting. We can do that. So let's, for example, go back to our project, take all of these guys. We want to change the lighting and we don't want to lose these lights here. Just make sure that only the lights. You could press Ctrl X. Okay, lighting is gone. And you could save it on a text file. You could also send this to your friend on Discord actually, so they can use the same lighting setup you have, right? So this is lighting setup. We cut from here. Let's go to the other map. Select all of these guys except for the camera because we just copied the camera. Press Ctrl C. This is our lighting here on this map. Oh my god, the frame rate. And this is our other project where we just removed the lighting. Press Ctrl V. Sorry. It copies the atmosphere, the light, the clouds, everything. So the same for the other project that I made on Artstation just last weekend. For example, I can save the atmosphere of this scene on a text file, and whenever I want to open this exact clouds and sun and like the post-process volumes and all these things to another projects quickly, it's just a matter of Ctrl C, Ctrl V between the projects. Sorry, what else? I need to restart my machine or just see why this is happening. The first time I see this, it's kind of weird, super annoying. So let's say we don't like this lighting, then I'm just gonna select all of these guys, delete, go back to my text document, select everything, Ctrl C, copy, go back to my Unreal Engine project, Ctrl V, and we have the same lighting like before. This does not work on meshes because they unless this mesh and it exists in the same name and the same folder structure on the other project, which is this guy. So if you try to copy a building that does not exist in the other project, like this guy, if you press Ctrl C and come back here, press Ctrl V, it will copy something, but it's an empty static mesh. So keep that in mind. To work with this, what you need to do is actually migrate from that project to this project, and then you could just press Ctrl C, Ctrl V if you want the exact positioning and rotation, like the transform information or any other settings you have on any mesh or object you copy from a project to project. It's extremely time saving pressing Ctrl C, Ctrl V between viewports. Yeah, Zoltan, I'm glad you found it useful. I'm very happy actually. Awesome. Let's continue. I would like to watch the stream later and compress all of these tips in like a shorter video, so you don't have to watch 4 hours. Okay, we have this building here. I think this is one of my favorite buildings. And it's this guy. So we move it, go to tab. You could turn off the scaling snap from here. So you see it's snapping by 0.25. So it's like, you know, it does not want to scale anymore. Yeah. So if you want more control, you can turn off the snapping for the scale, and you have like more freedom of how you scale your objects. I'm gonna get rid of this and fix it later, or do something similar. We may not even want it, but that's fine. Oh, this is one of the loose meshes. Can you go? Thank you. Isolate. It's always much faster to isolate than unisolate. And by pressing Alt then 1 to go to unlit mode, 2 brush wireframe, sorry, Alt 3 to go to unlit mode, and Alt 1 does nothing. So it's Alt 2, 3, 4 and so on. So now we were in like the brush wireframe mode, and it's hard to tell which building is which. If you press Alt 3, this is the building we want. We just place it, select the old one, get rid of it, and we should be good. Let's see this camera. And take a look where we are. We still are so far. I think I removed these by mistake with other building, right? So we need the same camera. I think it was this camera. We still have buildings to export from 3ds Max to place these guys here, unless these are just brush strokes and the geometry does not exist. So we put like the sketch next to me and then move these around. So if we do this, we do this. This building here, it's here. And here we have this building that is this guy. I think it's time to place just anything as a floor, so we don't have the feeling that this is floating, and we can start simply with the terrain tool. Frankenstein, welcome, hello, hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Today we're trying to take the first steps in making this for everyone new here. So step by step we are approaching the creation of this concept in concept art by Leon Tukker from concept art to Unreal Engine. So I started this few days ago, was doing so much R&D, and I think this is the right time to show you guys how I just approach these projects. I have no idea yet, but we're learning together. How's your day, Frankenstein? Once we click on the landscape mode, we will have the ability to create a new landscape. We can import a height map from file. So if you work with a software like Word Creator, Gaia, or any other tool, you can work on your terrain here, then export it and import it as a file. Or you can create completely new terrain with the size you like, press fill word to fill the word, and then you can sculpt on this terrain. So now I think this seems fine. It's way too large, 2 meter. The overall resolution here, like 2017 by 2017, is the like. One second. The technical guide terrain. If you look at the landscape technical guide documentation from Epic, you would go down and it tells us like these are the recommended landscape sizes. So it's not recommended to put random numbers here or any numbers you like. So for example, you can use these sizes, and here each vertex, if I'm not mistaken, because I know that this terrain here is 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers, so each vertex is like a meter. So if using 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer terrain, you should choose this number, 2 by 2 this, and so on. So for example, when you go to your tool of choice, let's say word creator here, we should not work with 2k by 2k 2048 2048. No, this should be according to the technical guide 2017 by 2017, and then you work to avoid all kinds of problems. So if you need to take a better look, here's a link for you guys in the chat. It's a detailed explanation about the landscapes. And speaking of detailed explanation of landscapes, one of the very best tutorials, what was his name? Word. There is a YouTuber who speaks design with DB. This guy, I'm subscribed on the other channel, DB. He made a few tutorials explaining the technical guide, and he explained that really well. I don't know what video exactly, but he makes amazing tutorials on generating landscapes inside of Word Creator. The video, I can't remember guys, but if anyone is interested, here's a link to the channel, and once I find it, if anyone's looking for that video, please let me know which one. I think this is the one. Yeah, these two videos here guys, getting started with Word Creator 2 and Unreal Engine exporting, 2 tutorials, long but extremely packed, so much information, all the information you need on landscapes basically, almost. Very great tutorials. A random number will affect the drawing tools, which will make it difficult for you to lay out the map. Exactly. Thank you, Ivan. It will make your life hard. Random numbers. So let's create a 2K map landscape for now, and we need to move it down a little later to have a place for the sea. What did I do? Oh, great. And to move it, I always keep forgetting switching between edit modes. So to move anything here, at the moment now, the only thing we can do when we are in the landscape, at the sculpt here, we can sculpt our landscape however we like. Make it bigger, smaller, put areas for the sea and whatnot. All the very good stuff. So let's flatten everything for now. I'm gonna press Shift F1 to move to the select mode. It's a quick shortcut. Then go to the tab and move this all the way like here, because I'm going to integrate this landscape with background mountains and green fields. Basically the end goal is to achieve, where you at? Yeah, is to achieve this, right? And everything here we have is just water, so we move the landscape as much as we like. However, keep it like this, because once we are here inside Unreal Engine, and one of the main shots, for some reason there is no terrain, the bridge, it's gone, but there was a bridge here of exactly this shot. Exactly this shot. So having terrain below the water would, like, we don't want to see the what's below the word under the water, so there must be some type of floor in this area here. So we can tell if we go just to our camera, and here we have a floor. Seems good. There is something I didn't learn yet about the ocean inside Unreal, is how to really work with it. So now if we just drag this, and let's try doing this. The actor here is supposed to deform the terrain for us in some way. I don't know how yet, so if any one of you guys knows, let me know. Until then, you can watch me suffer. Can we add a middle? Ah, yeah. Right click to add a spline point. I'm super new still to the word water system in 426. I never used it until just a few days ago. It's super nice. I was really surprised of how fast it is to achieve high quality water with just few clicks. Unreal Engine for the win. I'm not gonna be like super. It's compiling some shaders. So let's see when it finishes what happens. Nothing. Are you sure? I know the water body custom, it will add water for us immediately, and you can scale this to however you like. Let's just finish compiling shaders. But I'm still not very sure about how the other water bodies works. So we have, is invert shapes anything? Okay. Before deleting this, oh wait. Ha! Look at that. So below our map, only in the area we selected here. Nice. So now there were invert shape. Yes. So if we get rid of this terrain, oh, not like this. Now we do have our water, except for this area. I'm thinking what is, and if you notice there is like automatically post-process volume below the water, so when you go like down like this, it have its own post-process volume, and you can set its extents as you can see here, these guys, and water body. Yeah, where was it? It's the collision, how you set the collision. The atmospheric effect will also work when you go below this surface. So it does not work, for example, if you go out like so. It's we still have the same post-process. So in order to the post-process to work, you need to be inside this box, this bounding box. Alright, let's check our camera again and see how things look with the water. Not bad. The only thing I didn't know how to do yet is how to change the height of the placement of the water. But I think it always, for example, have to be on this 0 or 100. Yeah, it seems only 0. You can't move it up or down. Any of you guys experimented with taking the ocean, all of it, up or down, or it has to stay on 0? So this would let us know that if we go to the terrain, landscape, sorry, we can set minus 100. No, minus 20 meters for now. And then select this ring, and the only thing I'm thinking about now is I could just paint and make the landscape bridge to this ring where our city starts. But I'm thinking this is also super high. But as we agreed, the scales are problems for later. However, I'm interested. I don't know why I never did this. See, this is my very number one mistake, is not placing a mannequin in my project. Hey big boy. Not the control rig one though. If you just hover your mouse, you can read where this file is located, right? So I know I want the one inside the mannequin folder, not in the MCO mocap basics or anything else. Ivan, right now, yes, I am in the cinematic mode on the viewport. What? Come say hi. Look at this fat boy, guys. His name is Harun. He's a good boy. Are you a good boy? Wanna watch Unreal Engine, bro? Sitting. But he wanna run away, so just go away. He likes Lahma June so much. Yes. Shift F2 to go back to the landscape mode, and then on the sculpt we could increase the strength and reduce the radius a little bit just to rate this here. I'm gonna experiment with this, see what will happen. So, and change from Latin to sculpt. I'm just seeing Harun on the other monitor. Let's make it slightly smaller, the brush, and then just bring it to the edge here, right? And then go to flatten, then click on this point you want to flatten from, and hold your mouse, and it will basically flatten everything around it, right? So in this case, we want to flatten from this point, so we click here and just move left and right real quick, and it will flatten everything. Now we click on from whatever point we have. So let's make this bigger, and then we can make the radius like something 2000 for now, and you can see that it becomes much easier to flatten all of the terrain we have. I think detailed lighting mode would help us see what's going on. So we can simply just click like this, and then click outside where it is already flat below the water to, you know. Does the water have to be set to movable, or it doesn't matter? Just wondering whether it's just to do something when baking. I don't think the water will get baked, and I don't think there is any option to change the mobility of the water. And since it always moves, I believe it's always dynamic, my friend. I said my friend because I don't want to say your name incorrectly, but let me try again. And you tell me how bad or good I will do. Hewell Steen. Is this correct? just do real quick. I want to bring your attention to something on the landscape, by the way, guys. So the highest we can go from here is 8K, and you can't go more than that. Even if you put like numbers, the max is 8K. However, from the tool settings here, the brush size, you can see it's the same, 8K. From here, you can go to whatever crazy number you have, and the largest one is capped here, 65,500 something. So just be aware of that. And the same for the strength, the max is 1, but from the tool settings here on this panel, you can go like 5, 4, 3, 5, whatever, and the max is 10. So if you're not like, you know what I mean, if you're not working like, and yeah, I remember this could go more than 8K. Why it's not going more? Because we need to change it from here. It's real quick. Can fix it later. Probably I'm gonna use Word Creator for this, not this, and relocate the whole city. I lost my English. Yeah, interesting. Thank you, man. Sabri, hello. How are you, Habibi? I'm gonna press Shift F1, but it's not working. Interesting. Unreal Engine is being Unreal Engine today. I'm just thinking what are the next steps from here, because I don't like how high this means we're going to lower the complexity. However, from the reference, some of this is definitely lower, so we could bring it all the way here, but since we cannot move the water up or down, and that sucks, unless I'm mistaken, we need to move everything below and match it to the height of our bridge later. So to know where exactly to set the ground, actually what can we do is exporting the bridges, or at least the part we see from the camera. So I'm gonna hide these guys here, put the bridges only. They have so much, and I need only this line here. This is the one we see from the camera. And not on max 2022. In fact, let's close this guy. Oh, I messed up because I need to save this as selected. So let's ignore the bridges for now, no worries. Hey Ivan, I would love to, but I have to be the guy who is creating the word for this, so I can show everyone, right? But I would love to take a look at what you do, the environments and all. Sabri, yes my brother, I'm from Syria. How are you today, Sabri? Habibi. What's up? Alright. I don't want to do tedious tasks in front of you guys, like opening Max again and exporting and importing stuff. So we would call this Save it. And I want to show you something real quick before we wrap up today on how we can create landscapes quickly and then texturing them in Quixel. Just an overview of the process, because this is how I plan on making my background mountains, the ones we see potentially from distance and from aerial views, that are these here and these guys, right? So word creator, in 2 words, noise generator, procedural noise generator. We spoke here about the landscape or terrain size, but for background mountains we can keep these at here, and it have seeds. So now we see a height map from black to white. Black is the lowest point, white is the highest point, and if we just press randomize, we will get all types of random noises, right? Cool. We can always make it seamless on the X and Y, so it can, we have the, so we can be able to tile this if we want to tile it, right? And this, from the precision here, we can set the quality of the terrain. But look at this now, we go to filters and just add a new filter, and there are all of these filters to choose from. For example, we could go to canyon and just select canyon, or canyon eroded. And you could see how from this, with one filter, we are getting somewhere, right? So what I would do is just stack filters on top of each other, experiment with filters, play around, you know, just have fun, and I would end up with something that could look like this. Let me hide the textures here. I'm gonna translate your question, Sabri. Do you know a good course that explains Unreal Engine, the language does not matter? I hope I'm still live, because hey. My course, check out our course on Gumroad. It depends on what you're looking to learn in Unreal Engine. So if you're looking to learn architecture, here's a link for you. Give me a sec. This is a complete masterclass on Unreal Engine we're doing, but it's still in early access, so we are working on it. You can check out. So I think I'm live well now, there is no problem. I think I lost you guys for a few seconds. Once we generate our terrain here, we export all the height maps, and the height maps look like something like this. So in this scenario, we have this set of mountains. This is for a VR game for a friend of mine. He have all the action going on inside, and he wants like no one to see, to be able to go outside. So the height map look like something like this, black and white image. Can we preview it? Oh yeah. Black is the lowest point, white is the highest point, and you can see like these here, right? Kinda blurry, but that's important. And I export also a normal map. And when I want, I can also export splat maps and whatnot. You can export all sorts of things. I will show you another example I did this morning for this project actually. And then I just go to the local library and I start experimenting with textures, or use my own textures that I made in Word Creator. So just by stacking textures on top of each other, so this is the base texture, the one in the lowest point, and this, the Icelandic rock texture, I chose to be on top of the rigs, I call them. I don't know what we call these. And I added a mask filter to it with a curvature that we can preview from the layer mask, like so. And you can play with the levels by pressing shift, for example. You can move the levels you like. So basically this mask will control how this texture is applied on this surface. So that's it. So if you play with the levels, you can see like now it's everywhere because the mask is everywhere, or it's like really focused on a spot. So, and we could always invert it, but now it doesn't make sense. Another texture on top just to add some randomization, and then I just added a paint mask, painted stuff with the Quixel. I will make a, I feel so tired, I don't think I should be giving like Quixel Mixer now, but basically I'm just walking you through the process. But I will make more tutorials on this because Quixel Mixer and making terrains is one of my hobbies. I do this for fun. And finally we just add another texture, color it a little, and then give it another curvature mask, or you could give all these types of masks. You have to control how your masks are working. So that's an example. I did this morning, and another example I did is this one, also this morning. Sorry guys. This is a terrain I did this morning that I plan to place once we start finish blocking out at the very distant parts of the project. So if this camera view or one from top like so, and so on. So these landscapes here can be similar to this. So let me show you here the last map I did. The background mountains. This is my main landscape on this project, right? And you can see here from distance, these are landscapes made by Joe Garth, the maker of Proshify, super high quality stuff. So I just place them here. And the way I place them, I just choose a camera and then, okay, what do I want to see from here? And I start moving these landscapes around. You know, rotate them, scale it up, and so on. So this would give like some real depth to your project with some fog and atmospheric effects. You'd have something. And I just do this on all the required shots. So I don't know if I can find another shot. Yeah, here the same. So the atmospheric height fog, it does its magic exactly on here when you have like very large scenes with large distance between them. Here's without the fog, for example, the exponential height fog, not the atmospheric, sorry. And here's with. Once we finish texturing our terrain in Quixel Mixer, and this terrain is slightly different from the one I just showed you. So let me show you here, walk you through the process. For this particular terrain, I saved multiple splat maps that I could use as a mask to mask my textures, right? If I can show you where is the file. I don't know where the file is. Okay, found it. This splat map contains 4 channels, RGB, A, alpha, and each channel contains basically I save them with Photoshop. We cannot view them here, but we can view with Photoshop. So let's open Photoshop. I think I can. My PC is getting slow, so I hope there is no bad quality on the stream, guys. Hey, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. My PC is finally. It was frozen for a few good 10 seconds. Okay. It's Photoshop. Here's the layer mask, the one I just showed you, the splat map. We save directly from Word Creator, and the way we make this splat map once we finish texturing our project. So real quick, if we just go here to textures, add any layer, let's say grass, you add grass and close it, and then you add desert. We could control how this texture is applied on this mesh, so we can do noise select, height select. Let's say we only want the desert on the floors, right? So we just height select and we tell it, hey, everything below these units, don't apply this texture. So we can just set it on only here. And if you want to visualize really well, press F1. Sometimes it's hard to visualize, and we can visualize what's going on, and we can play with the smoothness. Right? And now, like, we're getting there. Let's say we want a third texture. Usually that's like how splat maps, a rock for the cliffs. And instead of controlling the height of the selection, we could control the curvature. So it's called in Quixel Mixer, we can do exactly the same, by the way, with the curvature mask. And in Word Creator it's called flow, and we have like this flow applied here, right? But no, I don't want the flow, I want the angle select, sorry. What's it? Sorry, the slope select. And then we can select the slope range. So we want this only applied on the cliffs. So instead of moving the right handle from like 90, the angle between them basically, we need to move from here. And you will watch it slowly going away. If you want to focus, see what's going on, right? And now our cliff material is only applied here. And now, let's say in Quixel Mixer, we want to use this exact map. We save it from the export on the textures as splat map, and it will save as an image that looks like this. Not this. Wait a second. And you can create splat map in almost any software you're using. Like I love Quixel Mixer for this. So here we have like 1, 2, 3. In my case, for my project, I used to have 4, but now I don't know where it's gone. No problem. And inside Mixer, I load these maps as textures, you know? So if you hide all these, this is the base layer, and this is the very first layer where I just apply my color map from Word Creator. This is how I did the texturing first in Word Creator and exported here just to take a reference when I am applying my textures on it, right? So here's the first texture, just blending stuff, and then the similar color but that looks similar to how we have it here. I'm just playing with the masks and the color variations and whatnot. And we should be good, basically that. And just for the fun of it, we could always add decals inside our Quixel Mixer. So look at this. Why not? And we can play with the radius, not the radius, sorry, the threshold, to move it up or down, or that was fun. I think I skipped so many steps. For example, I should speak more. If wrap to underlying is set to 0, it will just take the latest form, like this form. But if we set this to the max, it will take whatever is below it. So I promise you guys with a good Quixel Mixer tutorial soon. And if you have any questions on this in general, feel free to ask. So once I'm done with this, I would export it to Blender or 3ds Max or anything, and just bake it and then send it to Unreal Engine. And I had some problems today exporting to Blender 2.9. Apparently, how is it? I'm gonna shut up about this. Trying to focus. Basically here you export with Quixel Bridge. So once you finish your Quixel mixer material on the file, you can export it to library, right? And from library, if you go to the local and find mixer, you will find all of your mixes. And when you can send this to Blender, Unreal, anywhere you like. In our case, it's Blender here. And I'm still a noob in Blender. Yes. 1 second. Yes. I added 2 planes with just lights on the sides. One that is really low poly, as you can see here. And one is like slightly has more subdivisions, actually much more. Right? And they both have the yes. They both have the exact same texture. So if you go to the shader editor, this is the texture here. And I don't have displacement enabled on them because I want to displace the mesh itself, right? So this is the same texture. Once we go to the rendering view, they would look something like this. Let's turn off the grid. Alright. I should wrap up here, guys, and do the boring tasks of the screen. I'm gonna show you a quick example of this before I close, and while we're like wrapping up, anyone, if you guys have any question on today's session, please, this is the right time to ask. And another use case scenarios of Quixel Mixer and these planets and the Blender. This is one of my very favorite projects that I did like last year. Planet study on the moon. This guy. So there is not much mixer here, but I just played with some details here, and this is just a displacement map applied on a surface, and that's it. Multiple displacement maps. Seems everything is well here. Everyone here, 15 of you, thank you so much for joining and like staying up to here. I'm gonna finish here, and I will try to do the same tomorrow, same time, to continue our project, the city bridge here. Yes, 1 second. I'm reading the chat. I forgot what I was saying. I keep losing my train of thoughts. So tomorrow around the same time or earlier, I will let you guys know. I'm gonna schedule it actually after we finish here to continue working on this. And thank you so much, guys. I'm very happy. Like, I didn't expect so many of you to be here today. I'm very like, just makes me happy to know like there are people interested in learning Unreal Engine like this. Join us on Discord. Feel free to ask questions on Discord, and we will do our very best to help you too. Oh shoot, you're late, Mahmoud. Yes, next time, buddy, tomorrow. So happy Ramadan to you, happy Ramadan to everyone. And yeah, I'm gonna leave this on YouTube. I'm not gonna remove this, so if you wanna come back later, if there are some tips and stuff, and me and the boys in the VR Division team, we're gonna cut some parts where I think they are important and make really short videos on some tips and tricks that we shared today. We learned so much today, guys. We learned so much, and this makes me so happy and want to make this more often. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Let me put the stuff. And it's been a pleasure, guys. So take care and keep creating great stuff. Keep using Unreal Engine, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.